Hey, welcome everyone to the final round of team versus team at Logistical Nightmare Racing. We have certainly made it a nightmare. We are at Bathurst
Everyone.
and it's wet. So tonight I will be Lone Ranger as Bossman Mr. Sharks himself is stuck at the office. So work before play, unfortunately. So you boys are stuck with me for, well, more than 80 minutes. So as we get into it, we are 9 minutes into qualifying and we've got the boys, most of them out on their out laps. I don't think someone has started a flying lap yet. So hopefully they just get around the out lap. As from the talk during the week, some of these boys have been struggling just to get around the track and got so upset that they would put the game and go and sit in a corner and think about their life choices. Welcome to the stream, Brooker, Niall. I don't know if I will accept the excuse of you're sick. I think you were just sick of the track. That's why you're not here for some wet mountain. Hello, Sean. Sean, your teammate's doing the qualifying, so you're not doing quali. Well, good. Mr. Ritz, welcome. This should be an entertaining one. Who do you think will be the ah, someone starting a flying lap. Here we go. Stefan starting a flying lap. Well, not yet. He's coming down. Wait, I am looking at wrong streams here. I'm looking at the main YouTube stream. Let me go to my screen where I can actually see what we are broadcasting before the delay. And we are on board with Stefan, who has just started his flying lap. And he's going up to the corner that I hate the most. This right-hander, you're either going to hit it perfectly and come out here absolutely flying, happy, excited, and coming up to the left-hander where you slidey, and then you hit the wall there where that marshal stands on the right-hand side. That's normally my line through there. Stefan, as a born-to-be alien, shows us how you should be going up the mountain. Man, this really does look quite good. Waiting for electricity to come on. Hey, Sean, it's time we need to invest in a generator. You must stop being a kid, Don't be a kiddie. Get a generator. Or phone Mr. Director and ask if you can borrow his cousin or nuggie or sister, Jenny Director. She will power you all the way. Okay, so Stefan has made it down the mountain, which is good news. The question will be, will it be a quick lap? So for qualifying purposes today, I don't think being in pole position or in the front row is that important. I think for this track, with these conditions today, it is important that you survive. Survival is going to be the key here. Brooker, I agree. I do love this track. It is absolutely a fantastic circuit. It's very exciting in the dry, so I can only imagine how chaotic it is in the wet. So Stefan posted the first time lap at a 2:12. Now, I don't really have any indication what is quick and what is slow at this point in time, as I myself did not do any laps this week at this track. Let's give it a couple of seconds while the rest of the boys put some laps down and we can see who is slow, who is fast, and who is consistent. Okay, so clearly the lap time there from Stradom, Vessels, is not a bad lap. Only 0.3 behind Stradom, but Stradom, as always, Mr. Super Alien, as he just comes out casually and sticks it on pole position to start the day off. So fun is straight on. He just really likes to give us all hopes and dreams and then dashes it in like under 2 minutes. Okay, then Greening putting it in P3 for the AM boys. Now, that is a shockingly quick time then for the AMs if that sticks. I do see we are a little bit light tonight on our pro drivers. We only have 5 pro guys here. Unfortunately, load shedding, I think, playing havoc. The one team of Niall and Jacques, unfortunately, not making it. Jacques sitting in the darkness, and Niall has come down with some virus and is unable to get in the car and do some laps. As we are on board with Andries du Preez, the empty sandbags, who is the only driver at this moment in time who has not posted a lap as of yet. Let's see who else is here on stream. So how's it, Gavin? Welcome. When you say you're back, I hope you come to race. Yeah, Gavin, it's only me tonight in the stream. Bossman is stuck at work, and as we say that, Andries puts in a time, putting him only 0.9 behind Stradom. That is a very respectable time there, putting that down in the wet. But then we have a look, and we've got Jude in his BMW. That's only 1.3 behind. Okay, then Sean pops it in 4th place as well. So, and then Stradom just absolutely goes and destroys everyone and goes almost a second quicker than Vessels. Man, that is just insane. Yeah, but the boys times are coming down, I think, as they are getting used to the track. Dave sitting there in 14th, putting in a lap time that's 13 seconds behind. I think Dave is not using all his gears there. I think Dave's only using 1st and 2nd gear. Dave, use 3rd. 3rd is the magic gear. Ah, you see, listen, there he pops up into 10th place, only 2.4 seconds behind. So the amateur team, that's where the big fight is on. So 1st place in pro has been decided. Strato and Barrington Smith run away with it. Then Vessels and Skutter and Bullion and Vermeulen were fighting for P2, but because the one team has unfortunately not racing tonight, P2 is just about guaranteed 2 Vessels and 2 Skutter as long as they finish the race. Okay, or complete at least 1 lap. But on the amateur side, the battle there is very intriguing. So if we have a look at the championship points quickly, so let me just find them. The amateur team points, we basically have MC Racing on 274 points, and then you've got Steady State DOS. Now, so I know Steady State DOS, that is Dave and Anthony. So I just need to make sure on MC Racing. So let's just double check there to make sure that they are racing tonight, because there is some of the boys that are unfortunately not taking part tonight. Let's quickly see. Jump into the AM boys. Okay, so MC Racing is Renier and Charles Schneur. So let's see if we see a Duplessis or a Schneur, and unfortunately, I do not. So 1st place. Oh wait, never mind. There, Charles is in 11th. So Charles in 11th at the moment is fighting for P1 with Young in 10th, and then with Hex Simracing, who is Alex Moore and Davide. So as far as I know, Alex, I think, is doing the lap times. Let's just have a look. So yes, Alex there is sitting in P3. And I see Vessels coming through with a great time there, only 0.1 at the end of the session behind Stratum. So that is an absolutely flyer We're putting it in P3 at the moment. We're only 0.8 behind. So that is quite a very, very, very quick time there. So Neil is coming down the mountain and he is 4 tenths up on his time. Now, if he can keep that together, that is going to put him roughly between sixth and seventh, which is going to put him right in the hunt because our third place team or fourth place team fighting for this championship is Team Corn Beef. And that would be Neil Greening and Lee Bullion. So the Corn Beef boys, they standing the outside chance. They're on 253 points. So they are just about 19 points behind first place. But because there are so many points up for grabs, they are in with a shot in winning this and keeping in mind that you drop your worst race. So depending how this floats, you could be gaining more points or gaining less points with that in mind. Oh, there we go. Neil puts it in seventh, only 1.7 seconds behind first place, but puts him, most importantly, into P3 in the amateur boys. Let's have a look what Strydom does there right at the end. And he does not improve. Okay, so, but I think one of the shocking positions here would be Ian Maria in sixth place. Now, Mr. Maria, they're in six. I mean, it's a very respectable time from him, starting from sixth place, out qualifying one of the luxury time boys in P8. I mean, that tells you something. And Jude Novell in the other luxury time car are basically doing identical times. So this is going to be extremely close racing, boys. This is going to be a lot of fun. 14 cars on track. I think we're in for a cracker of a race. Let's see what the boys are saying on the stream as I'm all on my lonesome here. So Gavin says, yes, I've been cleared by the doctor so I can race again. Well, Gavin, that's always good to know. Did he remove them and put them back, or did he upgrade them and give you some steel ones? That's all we want to know. Now, Alex, very pro looking AM driver. Yes, Niall, I agree. To pro, he will go next season. He will not be allowed to race as an amateur. I think what has helped is that his teammate is a decent amateur driver in Davide, and I think Davide, they've been balancing each other quite nicely in the amateur side. And what I like about it is that the strategy that goes in that is just absolutely crazy because he has to drive the wheels off, and then Davide just needs to keep it consistent and bring it home. So I like that strategy in the boys. And Dave, yeah, David, good luck to all. Yeah, no, I know you here for the Hex boys. Ahead of Lareiro there. Then you would have had something to like, give him a bit of a dig, man. Boys, so we are a few seconds away from everyone starting their, as we would say, their formation lap. I'm just checking here. Is there anyone that's let me know that their teammates will not make it? Okay, so we have TTHR that won't be racing tonight because Hansi has also got a work thing, and as we've seen, Gavin has gone for a upgrade. So next time at the mountain, he'll be putting it on pole position because he ain't afraid of nothing. And then we have, let's have a look here so see us, so Renier and teammate. Here we go. So now, of course, some of the guys use different names. Let's just have a look here. Mr. Carbon is. I always forget who Mr. Carbon is. That's quite entertaining. And I know I'm horrific with names, so it's never a good thing. Let's see here. So Mr. Carbon, hello. I've gone too far. I've lost his name. That's never a good thing. That is absolutely, that's a horrific thing. Now I will have to log back into, aha, here we go. Charles. I really need to say that name right, but I feel I need a couple of tequila shots when I say that. Okay, so Charles is racing, and his teammate is not racing. What is Niall up to again? Balls of steel, Gavin. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. Oh, geez. Okay, the boys are coming up the mountain while we just babble on because, formation lap, as long as they don't put it in the wall, they can't really do much on the formation lap except heat up their tires and try and give each other a fright. So Niall says, Paul, Jacques, and I are safe in third, or could we lose that in the championship tonight? Oh boy, let's have a look at the championship points quickly again for you there now. Let's have a look and see. So basically, you guys can lose third place. So because you will not race tonight, this will be your drop round. So then all your points will count, and you guys would have dropped 64 points. Then luxury time racing, by racing tonight, they need to score more than 58 points. But keeping in mind, they will need to score. No, you might be safe. There's a 30-point margin. So let's just have a look. But I do know the points. The point haul is quite large. So let's have a look and see how much points you will score. Let's see it quickly because I know it is quite a large amount of points. Let's just get into the previous results so we can have a look at that. While the boys make their way around, they are coming down the straight, so we've got to do this quite quickly. We are going to run out of time here to check for you. Scoring, there we go. So basically, they need to score a third. So if they get third, then you are in trouble. I feel like that might be a hard task to be asking of the boys tonight. But with it being Bathurst and raining and load shedding for the South African boys, anything is possible for you guys to lose that third place to Sean and his teammate, well, Sean Loureiro and his teammate, that is, from Luxury Time. But if things stay as it is with Dupree in P5 and maybe jumps Moore in, then you boys would be safe. So we come around the final corner and the boys are getting ready and we should be going green in a couple of seconds, and we go. Now let's see if we can get through turn one without death. I'm looking on the screen to see if there's any yellow flags popping up. I'm not seeing any yellow flags popping up, which is always a good thing. Straydom has got a great start there, but look at the two Audis going at each other. Moore's going for it with Van Rensburg. Wessels is having a look at Straydom. In the back, you've got Maria that seems to have got him past. Yeah, he's held his position. Did they get through turn two safely? Let's have a look and see. Still no yellow flags. The boys are making me proud. They've kept it clean. Ooh, this is a nice camera angle. Look at them coming through here. Coming up the mountain. Sheepy there in third. Moore is in fourth. Dupree is in fifth. Maria, absolutely fantastic. This boy's sitting in sixth place. I absolutely hope he keeps that up and holds it together. Then he's got Loureiro probably at the back of him, and he's probably going to be all over him to try to get past. Then you've got Rini sitting there in P8, which is very important. And then you've got Young and Schneur, the championship contenders for ABS, sitting in 11th and 13th. We've got to keep an eye out on those boys because that is where the big entertainment is going to be regarding championship points. Then we've got A-Bond with his brother in 14th, coming over from console. And I know I keep mentioning this every week, but it's absolutely always fantastic for me when the console boys come over to PC and come and ruffle some feathers over here. So it's great to see. So we've gotten up the mountain cleanly, we've gone down the mountain cleanly, and now we're running down Conrad Straight. And this is where I've seen guys lose it in a straight line on this wet track. So let's hope they stop at the end of Conrad Straight and don't just absolutely murder each other. Stratum seems to be doing what he's been doing every race. He's already pulled out a second out of Vessels. So Vessels, I don't know if he's going to be wanting to fight for this championship to win this race, or if he's just going to sit back and say, you know what, conditions, as we say that, Haruka hits the barrier, and that might be some extensive damage there for Mr. Gia. That is not what we wanted to see at all. But as we say that, boys are flopping through lap 2, and they've survived turn 1 cleanly, and they are starting to spread out a bit. So Vessels is sitting in second place, 1 second behind Stratum. You've got Sheepy sitting a second behind Vessels, and we've got Young having a look at Schneur here. So Schneur got past Young then, because Schneur was behind Young, so that is a very important spot there. So Dave needs to get that back if they are planning on fighting for this championship. See what the guys are saying on stream here while we're busy. That's doable with the wet Bathurst. Keep it clean. Yeah, thanks, bro. Good first lap. Yeah, Brooker, absolutely fantastic first lap. Boys kept it clean, neat, and tidy. Ooh, Sky just bounced. I think that was Sky that bounced off the curb there. That is not great to see. That V12 might be super fast, but it's definitely not going to be bulletproof by hitting wall. Ouch. Hopefully it's not extensive damage there. So he's got Schneur and Young and Haruka all behind him. I won't say they're queuing, but they're definitely all stacking up behind him, having a look. But look at him go down Conrad Straight. Absolutely flying, and just, oh my word. That is why he's taken this V12. He just wanted the straight line speed. Absolutely fantastic. And here we have, whoa, Lorero has a look. Maria made a new piece of it. Ooh, that's a horrific track rejoin. Oh, that is heart-stopping moments. I think his teammate. Oh, here we go. Have a replay. So Lorero is having a look down the outside, and he's, what happened there? So he jumped on the brakes, and Maria just absolutely outbraked himself. I think we are absolutely just this rejoin. I think his teammate just about died right there when he almost killed him. Right, back to the action we go, and Maria has now got Sky all over him, and then Neville. What's it? Wait, Neville? Neville's in the mix of this. Jude. Okay, Jude must have made a mistake, because Jude was far ahead of these boys. But yeah, now Jude's in the mix of everything as well. So we've got Maria, Sky, Nouvelle, Schneur, and Young. Woo! These damn boys really want to make it entertaining for us. Man, this is going to be some epic stuff. Just look at how closely these boys are following each other. Ooh, I saw that look coming there. Man. This is an epic camera angle, I must say. I really do enjoy this camera angle. You can see how close the boys are. And just, Sky has gone straight. Sky's gone straight. Oh no, Sky! Absolute death. Oh! And Greening gets punted. Schneur, Young. Oh. That is, oh boy. And Bond. And Bond is involved as well. Everyone is involved. That whole group coming down the mountain, and death. That unfortunately is squarely all just absolutely on Sky. I do understand at that point he probably did not have too much control over that, but Oh, that is horrific to see, man. That's a typical mountain accident. Coming down the mountain, absolute carnage, absolute death. Oh my word. Oh jeez. That's not cool. Now the poor R&D boys are gonna have to have a look at that. Someone's gonna get a slap on the wrist. Someone's gonna get jabbed with a knife. Oh. Mm. Strato must have made a mistake. Vessels put in the fastest lap of the race. Vessels is smelling Strato. That must be a new smell to him because he has not been able to smell Strato for a while due to unforeseen circumstances. But going up the mountain, he is so close to Strato. This is this is why we commentate. Come on, Vessels, get closer to Strato. Ah, man, this would be so entertaining to finally be able to give the Berry Blixens a very good race because these Oaks, I feel like they've just had it too lackluster. The competition, every time we think someone's going to challenge them, then they either end up in an accident or get taken out or get a penalty or something just unforeseen happens. And these other boys have just had the most epic best of luck. I don't see that anyone's gone into the pits, so that is quite interesting. Maybe some of the damage sustained has not been as severe as what we would have expected, or they're going to try and survive until it's pit stops time. Yeah, let's have a look at Vessels here. He is absolutely fighting this BMW, trying. Okay, so my secret weapons here in the background telling me that Vessels currently has got a 6 km/h advantage over Stratum in a straight line. So whether that be a bit of the slipstreaming that is helping, or whether that be he's coming out of that final corner, out of Bentley corner onto Conrad Straight a little bit better, or he's just running less wing, being as it is Vessels, we know him to be a madman. This guy is absolutely insane when it comes to speed. So he might have gone with some crazy setup and he's just flying in a straight line. So it might not help if he's not in the slipstream, but when he is in the slipstream, that might be to his benefit to get closer. If we have a look and see, Sheep is still sitting in P3. So he's solo driving tonight, so he should receive his 5-second penalty at about the midpoint, just before pit stops. Then you've got Moore sitting pretty there in P4 or overall P1. I do see that Nouvel has jumped into the pits. I see Hardiker has probably gone to the pits because he's showing a lap down. Bond, I see, has not gone into the pits yet. This is a close battle here between Stratum and Vessels. Vessels closing up, coming down the mountain, definitely closing up. He seems to be a bit more confident on the brakes going through that lefty-righty situation where you tend to hit the wall and cause a complete blockage like the N1 freeway was today. Okay, let's see. So, from the view from Stratum's wing, is that BMW grill getting closer and closer and closer? It does look like it's getting closer a tad bit, but just not enough for him to be able to make a move into the final few corners. So that is a telling situation, and we have a driver that has left. Okay, so either they've had some load shedding, or they've decided, yeah, we've had enough, and they've run away. I think Hardiker was also on his own, so I think he's probably called it and it's like, yep, not going to suffer with this. Okay, don't make me pro, please. Alex, you're supposed to be racing, not listening to the stream. Come on, man. Okay, now it's point 4. So Vessel seems to be catching him in like the Conrad and then like the first part of the lap, but going up the mountain is where he seems to be losing his speed. Here we have Mr. G. Janssen van Vuren in his pink Audi, which is absolutely a fantastic looking Audi. I see his lights is off again. Hopefully he doesn't need them, as he's got the trophy for the best noob move of the season by getting disqualified for running 3 laps without putting his lights on at Spa and throwing away a podium. Horrific and comical and funny all in one go. But he is putting in a massive drive. His teammate Robin would be absolutely proud of him. And that would definitely call for someone having a tequila shot. I think so. I think Robin should take the shot because Robin is not racing. And then we've got Dupria fighting with Moore, which not really, that should not really be a fight because they are running in 2 different classes. So hopefully cooler minds or clever minds prevail and Moore gives the space once Dupria gets close enough, because Dupria needs to try and run away from Loureiro, because Loureiro needs to get to P3. That is Loureiro's job. Loureiro needs to get to P3 to be able to take away. Ooh, Vessels has lost some time there, so maybe a tiny mistake, or Stratum has decided it's time to put it into high gear and run away. But this is an intriguing battle developing here, which shouldn't in theory be a battle because it's pro and am drivers fighting with each other. So you in theory don't have anything to gain or lose by allowing the car pass. But because it's a wet race, I assume that Alex is thinking that he wants the clean track, he wants the clean view, and not have to deal with the spray that's behind him. But he's got such a nice little gap at the moment over the rest of the field that letting these 2 pro guys through and just fighting, sitting behind them, watch them fight it out, would also not be a bad idea. Let's see what's going on here. Well, so Ian Maria is in the pits, unfortunately. That's not good news, because I'm sure that is an unplanned pit stop. Vessels has dropped quite a bit of time to Stratum. He is now just under 1.4 seconds behind. So he's dropped 4 tenths on 2 consecutive laps, which is not great, but also Stratum has put in the fastest lap of the race. So Stratum is in his groove. He's turned up the wick on that BMW and he's going, well, it's time for me to shine. He just likes to do that and crush souls. That's what Stratum does. He crushes everyone's soul at LNR. When we think we're close, then he just books another gear. Oh boy, the championship leader for AM is in the pits. Charles Schnur is in the pits. And I can only suspect that this is an early pit stop for that damage which the boys sustained in the T-boning and the crashing coming down the hill. Bond, however, is still going, and he's having a bit of a fight with Mr. Sky there. Okay, so Maria has completed his pit stop. He should be leaving the pit soon, which is great, and then hopefully Schnur will do the same. Ooh, Maria's got a go 30, so now we need to have some R&D jump in here, because as per the LNR rules, we do not let them do the stop go 30. That gets removed, and the boys will receive only a drive-through penalty. So now to see, let's see if, oh no, who died? Oh, Sky. Let's have a look. So apparently Sky decided to die again, coming down the mountain. Ooh, he looks like that. Yeah, he's gone straight again. Is he? No, he's made the corner, but yeah. Bond was able to stop in time. Okay, so I've cleared the stop go, so now they must just get a drive-through penalty. Poor Sky. He's definitely going to have to pit for that, because that car is now absolutely undrivable. There's no way you can drive that car now. Let's see, where are we with the penalties? There we go. So Ian Maria's stop-go has been changed to a drive-through, and hopefully, because he's back in the pits, hopefully he's not serving that now while we change the penalties, because then that's just going to beat the objective here. Arvia is saying that he's got load shedding. Anyways, cheers. Okay. Well, Arvia, we understand. Unfortunately, like we say, uh, if you got those 3 laps, and we ensure that we get that stop go removed for the boys in that time space. So sorry to hear that, man. Well, good luck. Let's get back to our racing here, and we've got Stradom that has pulled an additional second out of Vessel. So Stradom is now just showing off, running away. But here with on board with Dave, there's a big battle going on here, because Dupria has dropped to 6th place. So Dupria's made a mistake somewhere, because Dupria's in the wall. So Dupria made a mistake by probably hitting the wall somewhere else, because that Audi looked worse for wear. Yeah, the Audi is still looking pretty, so he most probably dropped it coming down the mountain. Let's see what he does. Goes through Pertec. Oh, that's death. That's instant death right there. Yep, that's absolute carnage. That Audi will never be the same again. He's probably got some major suspension, steering damage. That is so sad, man. Oh, and he hits the wall. Man, Dupree is just ping-ponging off the walls here. Oh, and I think Greening hit the wall there trying to avoid Dupree, which is not great. And then Young is obviously just smiling all the way, because that's slowing Greening down and he can catch up to Greening. Oh, Dupree hits the wall. Oof. He's going to sit in the pits for about 5 minutes, I think, repairing that car. That is not great at all. Absolutely. That's just sad, man. Okay, well, let's recap. So we're in P4, P1 AM, Lorero P5, P4 Pro, and then Greening and Young in P2 and P3. Now, that is where things will be getting interesting. So if we have a look at the points here, so I'm just going to kind of go on the fly here with these championship points. So currently we've got Corn Beef on 253, but their lowest round that they've dropped is 58 points. Now, they will, if they finish where they finish here, they will not drop that, but they will gain 60. They will be gaining 67 points. So this is going to be interesting, because the steady state DOS team, if they come with P2 there, they are they'll be P3, so that will be 64 points. Now their lowest drop score is 41, so basically they will have a net gain of 17 points over Corn Beef. That is going to be interesting, because if you have a look, so MC Racing, basically those boys are going to be out. They out of it, so they sitting in P12 overall. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to be sitting in 7th in AM. Now, points wise, 7th is going to give him 52 points. Now, if we have a look, 52 points is his least amount, so that's going to be his dropped amount, 52 points, because that's what he got in round 3 as well. So basically he's going to gain 53 points at this point in time. That's all he's gaining, is his 52 points. So he's going to go from 274 to 326. Okay, so that's not a big gain if we think about it. And Dave, or Steady State, they obviously going to have a net increase of at least 12 points because of their drop rounds, and then they will gain on top of that sitting in P3, they'll gain 64. So they're going to basically gain net point gain of about 70, let's say 76 points. Now they are only 6 points behind MC Racing. So this could be very close for them with a basically they should in theory have that 6 point margin. Okay, well, a little bit more. They're going to be 26 point margin because MC Racing obviously will only score 52 points, where they're currently sitting at scoring 60. So they'll be scoring their 64 points. Man, this is going to be close. So at this moment in time, we currently have D Young sitting in P3 in the AM, looking to set to take the championship. Let's have a look. So Moore is sitting, you see now, so Moore and them are sitting only 3 points behind Steady Dots. Oh boy. But Moore will gain so much more points. So Moore's going to gain 7 points. And Moore's worst race that they'll be dropping would be a 61-point round. So again, they'll be dropping more points. Well, they'll be gaining. They're going to gain more points than what than Steady Dot. Oh, Steady State DOS team. Man, this is like absolutely crazy. My poor mind cannot compute the way that these points are going to work out. I actually need my laptop so that I can throw in the formulas and see what happens. That will give us a run into this. So let me see where's my laptop and grab it. I think it's within reach. Give me a second here. Okay, I'm back. Got my laptop, pulling a chair closer so I can put it on, and we're going to do some live championship points while we do some commentating on some racing, because at the moment things are looking a bit quiet on the racing front. So we've got Straight On going lap after lap after lap, and the gap between him and Vessels is kind of just floating around at the 1.5 to 2 second mark. So Bossman, you are home. So come jump into the stream. Don't make me commentate for another 55 minutes on my own. You can come and have fun with me. Let's see her face. Ouch. No bad. Gee, Jazz. I laughed. I don't think Jazz thought that was very funny. Wilfred, I laughed. It was funny. You were ping-ponging off of the walls, man. That's some A-grade entertainment right there. Okay, let's pull up the championship points. Here we go. Championship points. That's what we like. That's what we like. Okay, so let's add a round for tonight. So currently, as it would stand, so MC Racing would be sitting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th place. Okay, 6th spot. So 6th spot would give him 55 points. Okay, let's have a look. So 55 points. And Dave and them are sitting in P3, so that would give him 64 points. And Hex Racing is currently winning them, so they get the nice cool 70 points. And then Corn Beef, they're sitting in P2, so they get a nice 67 points. Okay. Now, to see what this will do for these boys and their points. So, luckily, with these drop rounds as it is like that, it makes life a tad easier for us. Whoops. Broke the formula. Okay, sorry. Okay, fix the formula. At the moment, Hex would take the championship. Who saw that coming? So Hex would take it by 3 points over steady state DOS. 3 points. And corn beef. Let's see, corn beef's formula didn't pull. Let's fix that. So yeah, basically MC Racing will be, yeah, so Hex will be on 335, 3 points to steady state DOS on 332, and then MC Racing on 329. So basically, Charles Schnur needs to keep going and make sure that that whoever in the Amboys is in front of him, someone else crashes out. He needs 5 points, 6 points. So he's currently in P6. He needs to get to P4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He needs to catch Bond. That's what Schnur needs to do. Schnur needs to catch Bond and Nivelle. If he can catch them and pass them, he's basically winning this championship by 1 point. That is this is absolute madness, man. Madness. And Dave, if they want to win this, they most probably need to get past Neil Greening, because Neil and them are not close enough. They will be on 320 points. Therefore, they're not going to be close enough. They won't even move up or down. They will actually just complete and finish in P4. Unfortunately for them, they would just stay in P4. Thanks, Advia. We will keep you boys up to date as we go, and yeah, jump on the stream, say hazard, laka. Let's see what's happening here. You need some dinner, boss man. I need some dinner. I also didn't do dinner, so send some dinner this way, Mr. Delivery. Okay, make it happen. Mr. Wilson, are you still here? Are you ready to take over from Coach Dave there? Owen, I can explain. I am absolutely sure that you can, Owen. That was quite entertaining. You are most certainly, if you want to, but I know your teammate, Mr. Gary, is going there in 12th, so you can always jump in if you want to, but if not, then it's all good. Yeah, so where are we at? So Young is 0.5, if that is correct, behind Greeny. Now, that might be the race to watch, which I do think we are on board with Greening. Aha, we are on board with Greening, and they've got Dave all over them like a bad rash. And Duprier has gotten out the pits and going again. Dave just needs to be calculative here, like a precision sniper assassin that we know him to be, when he just goes for a move and makes it work. That is what we need. We need precision Dave right here. Then we are in trouble. Look at Discord. I am on Discord. I'm ready to explain too. No! Dave has crashed. Oh. How bad, Dave? How bad was the crash, Dave? Let's have a look here. We're on board with Dave, seeing how he died. Maybe he got punt. He got punt. Don't say he got punt. Where did that Audi go? What? Okay, that's very weird. Okay. Dave lost it on the grass. That is weird, seeing that, yeah, because that Audi was definitely not... No. Poor Dave, poor Dave. Okay. Lorero. Yeah, here's the white Audi with Lorero here. So that's definitely a game glitch there with the replay. So Moore and Loureiro is having a battle, but according to this, it's saying that Young has gone past Greening. Is that correct? Has Greening gone into the pits? What is going? Where did Greening go? Yes, Greening is behind. Ah, that's what happened. Greening had a spin coming down the hill. Oh boy. Okay, so Dave moves into P2 in the AM class and P6 overall. Okay, let's update the points so that we can see how this plays out for Dave now. Okay, so Dave goes to P2, so he gets 67 points. Let's have a look. So Teddy Dos goes to 67. And that now moves them equal on points with Hex Simracing at 335. Uh-oh. Bossman, if you're watching, what is our next determination for who wins the championship if both drivers of both teams, my apologies, is on equal points? Because they will both be on 335. As a dingo. Who's got the most wins? Would it come down to that? Will it be who's scored the most top positions? Because at this moment in time, if we go on wins, the win tally would go to Hex by 3. So if they win this race, they will have 3 wins, and Dave and teammate Wilson will have 1 win from what I can see here. So that would then most probably give Hex the championship. Wow, who could have thought? Oh. Is Mr. Sky in chat? Mr. Sky. Yes, let me have a look. There we go. Hello, Mr. Sky.
I've been given permission to explain.
Okay. Explain yourself to us.
So, the V12 is a pain across the mountain. It's a demon in the straights. We overtook the one of the V8 Aston Martins in a straight line with a fairly equal pull off of the final corner down Conrad Straight. The problem I had, ironically, was from a BMW M4. The majority of their balance of performance comes in the braking, which means that there's a lot of what looks like dives, which aren't dives.
Yes.
I'm just going to mute myself. So
it was entertaining to watch until
it was awful to be there
until death arrived and took like 5 of you guys with it.
Well, I'm hesitant to claim responsibility for that because it was the issue. The issue I had is that all the information that I had, my radar, my rearview mirror, everything was telling me that he was on my corner, so I didn't want to turn in. But the problem that with the V12, I'm having to brake before Skyline.
Yes.
To get the balance on the front so that the car actually turns in. What you saw there was what happens if you don't brake before Skyline. Essentially, you skate across the inside of that little S.
You're kind of just a passenger.
And yeah, exactly.
On the other side.
Exactly. Again, I don't want to blame the BMW driver. He was driving his race, but at the same time, the BMWs are awful. I despise what they've done with the balance of performance on those cars. It doesn't matter how much horsepower they're taking away. It doesn't matter how slow they make them in a straight line. If they're still diving on most of the other cars on the grid, apart from the Audi, and even then they dive on the Audi as well, there's not much point to taking anything else away from them. They need to add weight to the M4 balance of performance. They need to elongate the braking zone for the M4s. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what's going on. And you're going to see now, the next big stop that we see with Loreno versus Alex, if Alex can't get a gap, he's just going to outbrake him into
But
the corner near the combo.
if I was Alex now, I would just let Lorero go, because you're not in the same race, racing for two different positions, and Alex is racing for a win in the championship.
There's another thing you have to consider here. Alex is the more consistent driver of the two. The more cars that he can fit in between himself,
yes, and Dave
and the number 2 car, the more cushioning that Davide has to use, because the Audi's fast enough in a straight line. The BMWs, I think, are actually a mite slower than the Audis in a straight line. So as long as he can keep the BMW at the moment behind, then they've got the win in hand with a wedge in between. I appreciate from the pro's perspective, it's frustrating, but at the same time, these are races for on-track positions.
I'm more worried about if Lorero has a slight mistake, a lockup, or a misjudgment, misses his braking point, and he nudges the Audi. Then it's if, buts, maybes, and we cry over sour milk. That's just my thinking. A position on track, in my mind, is less important than a position in having less risk in having someone take you out in the rain. In the dry, I would be 100% with you there. But because this is in the wet, as your incident happened in a blink of an eye, just like that, Alex can get wiped out. Not that I would ever believe Lorero to do that, because Lorero is a stand-up driver, but this wet weather, anything can happen.
I totally agree. Unfortunately, the M4 is about the safest car you could put in the hands of anybody. If I was in the Audi, I would be pretty confident to defend against the BMW, because they've got the they've got the braking performance.
Yeah.
They've got the tyre grip, they've got the braking performance to be able to get out of those types of situations.
I see Janssen van Vieren is still in the pits. I assume he's had an incident, because he's been in the pits quite a long time.
I should have got my broadcast install open, shouldn't I?
Just want to keep an eye out on him.
Mr. Race Director, does the 86 car have an incident on their mark?
No, nothing from the boys in the background. So it might have just been a pit stop, and pit stop might just be long. So Vessels is in the pits as well, after taking the fastest lap away from Stradom again. Yeah, I honestly think something's gone astray there with Janssen van Vieren, for him sitting in the pits for so long. Now, the problem that they have with that, if it is a problem, who's going? No, he's leaving. So the key here will be Lorero, because if Lorero sneaks past and gets that third place, they sneak in and steal P3 from the LNR Beamer Dreamer boys, with them not being able to race tonight.
So it's all to play for, is what you're saying?
Yep, it is most certainly all to play for P3 and the Pro Series.
Right. Well, I'll let you carry on with that. I'm going to go and sulk and drink a can of Tango, because that was not how I was enjoying the hell out of that race up until that point.
We enjoyed it. It looked like you guys were having a nice tussle there between the 4 or 5 cars.
As I say, I blame the balance of performance more than anyone else in that one. I'd gone over Skyline comfortably the lap before with the BMW watching, so I don't know why they were going so close. There's no way that was going to end well, but at the same time, I should have been a bit braver. Oh, here we go.
Oh boy, you see what I mean?
Yeah, but this is the thing. You see how the BMW got it wrong, went straight on, but still has the braking performance to slow down more than the Audi.
Yeah.
Whereas when I did it, I went through at unabated speed.
Being straight on.
I was airborne for half of that cut through.
But yeah, no, look, I understand. That's why I say, yes, I just my racing brain, being that I've been taken out in positions like this by someone that is not part of your race,
Yeah.
I would be more cautious from Alex's perspective, because I think you will cry a lot harder if if you lose it this way by being taken out, instead of having someone maybe catch your teammate on track and fighting for that position.
I 100% agree with you. With commentator brain on, I totally agree with you. I completely agree with you. With Hex Simracing driver and inside baseball knowledge person, I totally understand what Alex is doing here.
Yeah, I know. So look, it's at the end of the race, we'll know whether Strat 1 works or whether Strat 2 was a better option.
I totally agree.
That's where we're at the moment. But yeah, good luck to Moore, good luck to Herrero, and good luck to your teammate, Mr. Van der Haar, sitting in P11th after crashing and getting a broken car. So did you repair the car, or?
Oh, car's fully repaired. The car is very neutral balanced, slightly to the front. Okay. Which is exactly what you need in these conditions with this particular car. So the problem is that if the balance went at all, it's just it's awful to handle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's had an accident, it looks like. That's a shame. Oh well. I will. No. Is this a replay or is this live?
No, this is live.
It's live. Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. Young is in the pits. He's doing his pit stop.
Yep.
Hopefully he did not speed into the pits and get a penalty, because that would spice things up a little bit more.
Anyway, I will let you guys get on. Thank you very much for doing the broadcast tonight. I'm sure it's taking time out of a very busy evening.
No worries, bud. Thank you for coming in, popping, saying hi, and good luck to your teammates.
Yes, no, very best of luck to Gaza. Hopefully he brings it home. We are very much counting on him, unfortunately. I let the team down tonight.
Well, you can let your other teammate know that he is squared on points at this moment in time for the championship.
I won't tell him that in the slightest, because that'll just make him more depressed if it all goes wrong in the second stint.
All right, no worries. Thanks.
Have a lovely evening, gents. I'll see you then.
Right, back to just my lonely voice, and yeah, we have Moore and Loureiro still going at it. This is an interesting battle. As we pointed out, it's more of a bragging rights battle than an outright points battle, but a battle nonetheless. And it's been good so far. The boys have surely given us some great entertainment. So if we have a look, so Scooter has taken over from Vessels, Wilson has taken over from Young, and Bullion has taken over from Greening. So the top three AM guys have taken their stops. Well, not top three. So the top two of the top three AMs have taken their stops, and P2 in the Pro class has taken his pit stop. So now it's to see, out of the second stint boys, who can drive and who can survive and who can make up some time. Because that's what we are faced with here. So as it stands at the moment, Moore obviously, Naval runs off track. Does he miss Wilson? He misses Wilson. Now that's a great save, a slow down. Let's have a look. They were coming down Conrad's. Oof, some slipstream city. Did he outbrake himself? That would be my assumption. Did he do what Maria did earlier? He's taken the inside line, so he's taken the correct line, but yep, no, you can see that Wilson is on the brakes way earlier, and Naval unfortunately just runs out of some wet tire grip. But he's back at it. He hasn't lost too much, only 5 seconds to Wilson. So if he's quick enough, he should be able to make some of that back up and maybe have another battle, because that position there, but they still need to do a pit stop if I'm not mistaken. So if Naval and them still have to do a pit stop, then that brings them out of the equation to help Moore. So Moore's in the pits. So he's taken a stint a little bit longer and he's in the pits, about to hand over to his second driver, Davide. Loureiro is sitting in P3 at the moment, but he will be net P2 until he does his pit stop, and then we'll probably jump into P3. And that will seal P3 in the championship for them, if I have it correct. So we can have a look at that as well. So let's do the pro points. So obviously we know that the top boys they've already walked away with that. Astra will obviously secure second, but it comes down to P3 and P4. So P3 get no points, but P4, if they get P3, let's have a look and see. If they get P3 with that 64 points, what does that do to their ultimate tally here? Let's have a look and see. So their drop round will be that one there, so they will get the final round points. Yep, that would move them up to 299, and the Dreamers will collect their 64 points. So how do I have this? Okay, seems I've got this wrong. Have I got this wrong? Have I got this right? Let's just have a look here. Okay, so no. Alright, so Neville is flying. He's about 4 seconds a lap quicker than Wilson. Wilson doing about 2:16s, and Neville did a 2:12. So by the end of this lap, he should be all over Will Wilson. But Wilson, he's got a different race in his mind, because Neville also still needs to pit. But Bullion is back in the pits. Oh no! Did Lee crash? Lee must have had a crash. Yeah, that Aston looks a bit bent. Let's see. So Bullion, oh, Schneer went past. Oh, no, it's even before Conrad straight. That Aston already looked worse for wear. Okay, let's see. No, nothing here. Okay, well, they back in the pits fixing the car. Guess they'll race again. But that, unfortunately, that's going to ruin their podium position that they were looking to secure there. But back to the point. So, unfortunately, I had it wrong. The Beamer Dreamers, with removing round 6 as their drop round, they'll move to 326 points. The Luxury Racing Team, Luxury Time Racing Rolex, Luxury Time Racing Rolex team, they will move to 299. So even with their points tally and only dropping those 52 points as their lowest round, they unfortunately will not be able to catch the Beamer Dreamers. So the Beamer Dreamers are secure in P3, so they can rest easy. And basically, Loureiro and them can just take bragging rights by taking a podium. Yeah, Niall, that is absolutely, that's sad, man. Feel so sad for Lee. He's been trying to have some good racing, but just seems to have those little incidents that just creeps in at some point, which just sucks, man. But keep on and going on, and he'll get there, man. Never give up. Janssen van Vlieren has had a quiet race, but after his pit stop, we're obviously waiting for all the guys to pit and cycle through, he should, in theory, if there was nothing wrong with his pit stop, he should, in theory, come out in P3 and be secure in P3. He will get his 5-second time penalty, which we will load shortly, just so that he does have it, that it adds at the end of the race. Competizione has received his 5-second penalty, so now we can all relax and enjoy the race going forward. So Schneier also needs to receive his 5-second penalty, but not that I think at this point in time. And Strijdom is coming into the pits. Strijdom's in the pits. Loureiro, if he doesn't pit this lap, will take over in P1. They are sitting in, so Schutter is sitting in P3, who has taken over from Vessels. So now it will be interesting to see if they have been quicker than Strijdom on the undercut, and whether if Strijdom is just still going to hand over to Ryan Barrington-Smith and still take the lead. Let's see, 374 has started going, and they are exiting the pits. So yes, they are still quite securely in first place. Now the question will be, for the next 26 minutes, who's got the speed between Schutter and Barrington-Smith? Naval is in the pits, so that will help Schneier. Wilson is sitting in P5, 41 seconds behind Capruzzi. So Capruzzi really just needs to, did he hit the wall? No, he saved it out of the wall. That is a hard stopping moment there for Wilson and Dave. So all Capruzzi needs to do is keep on lapping and just complete this race, and they've got this championship in the bag. And Wilson needs to try and not hit the wall and try and hope Capruzzi does hit the wall or spins or has an incident to bring him closer to make up that 40 seconds. We've got Barrington-Smith coming up behind Lee to lap him. Lee moves over and Barrington-Smith just runs past him very casually. So Schutter is 12.5 seconds behind Barrington-Smith. So now it will be key to see what happens if that gap does come down. Hey boys, just give me a second or two. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Had to grab some meds there. I think my trip to Durban has also brought on a bout of some flu or something, so I am feeling absolutely fantastic. And beer is not curing this, so now we've got to go for some proper medication. Even though beer cures everything. So we have got Loureiro in P1, but he needs to still do a pit stop. And there's the little voice in my head telling me maybe I should have a shot of tequila. The little voice is probably not wrong. Then we've got Barrington Smith, aka Barry, sitting in P2. Then you've got Skitter's taken 3 seconds out of Barrington Smith. Can that be? Skitter's brought the gap down by 9.5 seconds. So, oh boy, this could get very spicy. And then you got Capruzzi sitting in P4, Wilson P5, and then Van Vieren most certainly had an issue with his pit stop because he's sitting in P6. And then you've got Schnur sitting in P7, which would now be P3. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This amateur championship has just thrown us another curveball. Okay, so timing is telling me that Skitter was 1.3 seconds faster on that lap than Barrington Smith. So this is going to get very interesting. Okay, so let's have a look here. Back at the points, P3, give him 64 points. So if we give Schnur 64 points, what does that do? That gives him the win by 3 points. So that would give him the championship by 3 points. He would be on 338, Steady State DOS 335, and Hex 335. And Loureiro's in the pits and out the pits. And has Loureiro changed teammates? We will have to see, otherwise he will receive his mandatory 5 seconds. Yes, Van Zyl is in the car. Now let's see what Van Zyl can do. And Skitter has brought the gap under 8 seconds, 7.7 seconds. Oh boy, this race ain't done yet. So Wilson and Capruzzi, they basically need Bond to catch Schnur and pass him. And I don't think that is going to happen, unfortunately. So the only thing we could hope for is that bad luck would hit Schnur, which would be horrific. He has come from the back after having not a great start to the race, and he's brought himself back into P3 on the podium, and that would be the best way to celebrate winning a championship. Niall says Skitty is a monster at the mountain. Yep, that is absolutely 100% true, Niall. Skitter at the mountain is unstoppable. Yeah, I've just had to drink the most horrific medicine in my life. Ugh. Absolutely disgusting. Okay. Now we hope, guys, just so that you know, if the stream all of a sudden drops, that would be because our backup streamer, his backup power, might have run out. Okay, just so that you guys know. So, things are getting interesting. The gap between Skitter and Barrington Smith looks like it's stabilizing. So maybe Berries has now found his groove and is able to possibly match Skitter, or Skitter's made a mistake. And okay, so the voice in my head says that Skitter was half a second faster on that lap. So not as much as before, but still quicker. But he's got 18 minutes to go. He will need to pick up the pace. half a second a lap is not going to do it. I don't think so. So at roughly 2 minutes a lap, 18 minutes, that's 9 laps. 7.5 seconds at half a second a lap. That's about 14 laps, give or take. So yeah, that's not going to do it then for Skitter. So he'll need to at least pull out 0.8, 0.9 over the next while. It's brought down to 6.8. And once he gets it below that 5, that magic 5 mark, and he can actually see Barrington Smith in front of him, I think that will motivate Skitter so much more to get closer. This is turning into a epically fun way to end the series. We had a quick glance there of Robson, who has taken over from Ping Pong Andries Duprier and is now hopefully going to be the not ping ponging wall Robson, because he is not supposed to follow the example of Ping Pong Duprier. Yes, I know that sounded very confusing. I also confused myself there. I'm so sorry. Ugh. Okay, Robson. Oh, is that Schneur? Schneur almost hit the wall there. I get excited because that's a championship contender. He almost hit the wall. uh, he might think I've got a vendetta against him. I do not. It's just this race is so on knife's edge for the amateur boys that he is the thorn in Capruzzi and Wilson's side. That's basically how this is going to be phrased. Lee is still in the race, sitting in P12, uh, trying to fight his way back up to get to at least to Robson, that they can maybe have a bit of a battle together. Oh, Lee hits the wall again. Not if he keeps doing that. I'm sure that is some severe suspension damage right there. Let's have a look and see what is happening all over the place. What are the boys saying on stream? So all Nile is saying Shooter is flying. Yes. Mr. Sean Shooter, aka Scooter, aka Skitty, is just absolutely flying. And he's got the gap down to 6.1 seconds in 15 minutes. So 15 minutes at 2 minutes a lap. That's gonna give us about what's that? About 7, because they're doing about 2.5. So let's say 7 laps. And the voice in my head is saying that Scooter is doing about a second a lap, which we were saying is what he would need to catch Barrington Smith. So 7 laps, 6.5 seconds. If he keeps this up, he will catch Barrington Smith on the final lap. Hopefully, the back markers move out of his way quite quickly, that he does not lose any time chasing down Barrington Smith. This is getting real entertaining at the moment. And we've got Bond, who started last, and they've made it up to P8, but I see that they showing that they did not do a full pit stop, yet it's W Bond in the car and not A Bond anymore. So something has gone astray there with their pit stop. This might be the case that they went into the pits, did the driver swap, and forgot to put new slicks on. Well, new wets. And that might be what happened. So they are, unfortunately, they will be getting a quite a harsh penalty from the game. And we'll then, after the race, have to find out what happened and see if we need to reverse that from our side. Ooh, Lee's gone off track, but I think he just possibly went off to give way. He seems to be struggling at the moment, but I do think he's got some suspension there. No, he just ran wide there. That Aston is just understeering everywhere. And Ike says he almost put slicks on for Gary. That would have been fantastic. Gary on slicks in the wet. That sounds like a combo we would have absolutely enjoyed. So, Janssen van Vieren has made his way past Wilson. Not that it matters too much as they are in two different classes, but that brings Van Vieren up to P5 overall and up to P4 in class, trying to chase down Flip van Sale with 12.5 minutes left to go. Yeah, it's only 13.5 seconds behind Wilson. Is that gap coming down? That gap looks like it might have gone a bit up. Skitter hasn't made any inroads on this lap, still at 6.7 seconds over Barrington Smith. So things are starting to balance out now, and his tires might have said it's had enough. Gary looks to be taking some sweet lines here on track, man. Gary's doing a decent job. Unlike this other teammate of his that we shall not name who that was, who decided to snap, crackle and crash at the bottom of the coming down the hill. Not every day I can take a dig at you, Owen. So today I had to take a dig. It's just my turn. Have a go at Mr. Ike that was briefly on the mic with us here in comms box. And now I am starting to hear my voice starting to crack and starting to not be here. Oh boy. It just needs to last for another 11 minutes. Skitter has brought the gap down to 6 seconds flat. And there's 11 minutes left. That is roughly 5 laps. Possibly one final lap, depending on where Barrington Smith would be. So possibly 6 laps. So this is getting so entertaining. And the gap is down to 5.5 seconds. Oh my word. I don't know who is getting more excited, whether it be Skitter, myself, or whether Straydom sitting hopefully watching the race and chewing his nails off because he's seeing this gap just dissipate. And Barrington Smith, unfortunately, due to all the load shedding and someone trying to steal their power cables and breaking the entire transformer thingy that has to supply the power to his house, has been without power more than he has been with power since this weekend. So this is definitely coming down to be absolutely entertaining. So the gap is down to 5 seconds. Oh boy. I think Barrington Smith is starting to feel the pressure coming from that number 13 BMW behind him. And he will soon be able to see that BMW in his rear mirror. Capruzzi is still doing well. I'm really impressed with Capruzzi, keeping it together, not doing any funny stuff, bringing it home. That is... Okay, so we'll have a look shortly and see if this gap has changed. According to live timing, it has, but we'll wait for the timing to jump up on screen. And there we go, 4.7 seconds. Scooter is on the move, people. Scooter is on the move. Oh boy. If I'm seeing correctly, Schneer is only 0.4 seconds behind Wilson as well, from 13. So Schneer is chasing down Wilson. If he takes that P2, then it is absolutely over for everyone in the AM class, because then he will take that position with an additional 3 points. So then it is over. Then Capruzzi has done what he could do, which would be to win the race. That is more than that you cannot do, and you need Lady Luck on your side. But unfortunately, it does seem like Lady Luck is on the side of Charles Schneur and his teammate. Boy, the gap is still sitting at 4.6. Actually, I mean, Anthony Wilson seems to be struggling with that corner there. He's gone off probably about 3 times already, and now he's got Schnur all over him. I think unfortunately, their challenge for the championship is going to come to a premature end here when Schnur passes him, and they will then secure P3 because they will then drop 3 points on Hex and drop to 332 in the standings on overall points. And the gap between Schutter and Berries is at 4 seconds flat. Oh boy. Schneer's going for the dive. Is he going to stop? Oh, he stopped it. That's the first BMW I see doing a dive bomb stopping. Yeah. Oh, Wilson's running wide. Save it. Kept it out of the wall. Bonus. More than that, he can't ask for. And we've got Robson at the background. The gap's below 4 seconds. This isn't even getting spicy anymore. This is becoming absolute entertainment. Watching this man in the rain is just amazing. But as we know, catching is one thing, passing is an absolute another. Now we know Barrington Smith ain't no easy guy to get past. So I think if he only has one lap to get past Barrington Smith, I don't know if he will have the opportunities to get it done unless Barrington Smith makes a mistake. And Barrington Smith is not known for making a mistake. Oh boy. So we need 5 minutes. Apparently the power has gone off at our streamer's house. And we are still streaming, so we will hope for the best. This would be absolute cruelty if the stream drops. This will be absolute cruelty if the stream drops before the end of the race. See BMW brakes. Your love-hate relationship, you love to hate the BMW, is absolutely fantastic. Well, Skitter's at 3.7 seconds, but it might be slightly closer from what it looks on board, being on board with him. And it's at 3.7. Okay, so let's see. 4 minutes. And with that at 4 minutes, they're probably going to do 2 laps. This lap and possibly the next lap is going to be the final lap. I don't know if he has the speed to be able. I think if there was 3 more laps to go, Splitter would be in with a shot. But 2 laps, I think we are just going to get done in here by the lap count. sitting here in silence because watching the clock count down. Now, if Barry's plays is cool, he'll make sure, but I don't think, yeah, no, where he is now with that clock, the next lap, when he crosses the line, will be the final lap. So if he just keeps this together and does not make a mistake, he's got this in the bag. It will be close. It will be absolutely close. I did not see it saying that, okay, it will probably say final lap when the clock hits 0. Oh boy. The gap is 3.2 seconds, people. 3.2 seconds. But I think even Scooter has probably figured out he's not going to make it, so he's probably backed out of it as well. Maybe, maybe not. But Flip in third, that's a fantastic result for the team there. And then the Amboys bringing it home in fourth place, beating Sheep in his Audi after probably having some sort of error take place in his pit stop. And then Schneer with a marvelous drive coming from the back of the grid to take P2 in the AM class would be absolutely fantastic, which would secure him the AM championship with his teammate. Barrington Smith down the hill for the final time, heading into Bentley Corner for the last time. He must be breathing a sigh of relief, because if this to be the final lap, he will be absolutely ecstatic. But it does look like Scooter has backed out of it, because he has not really made any inroads, only taken about 0.3 out of Barrington Smith over there. Oh, never mind, he's taken 0.8 out of Barrington Smith over the lap. So Scooter's still pushing, hoping that there's still another lap to go. But I do think once the clock now hits 0, it's going to say, oh no, it has not. It has not. Does that mean we are getting one final lap? Let's see. I'm not too sure, but no, there we go. The leader has finished the race. Well done to Barrington Smith and Sean Stradom, taking another win, but being chased down closely by Sean Scooter and Stefan Wessels. Fantastic racing there, boys. Flip will bring it home safely in third. Gary van der Haar and Ike, the Mike, already crossed the line there in 10th place. Great drive from them in their V12 Aston. And then Schnur bringing it home in P2, taking that amateur team championship win for Team MC Racing by 6 points over Capruzzi, who should bring it home in P1 for the Amboys. Then congrats to Wilson and Dave on P3 in the championship. They dropped 6 points on Schnur and 3 points on Capruzzi. And then well done to both Bonds, who completed the race and seems to be getting a P8 and a P4 in their class, which is absolutely fantastic. Then Mutong ready to bring it home in P9, and yeah, that would be it. So, man, what an event this has been. It has been entertaining. I really thought we might just get Scooter there with Barrington Smith right at the end. So we are just waiting for Capruzzi to cross the finish line. He's come down Conrad, going through the S's for the last time, coming down to the final corner. He must be absolutely ecstatic to take a win in the amateur class, helping his teammates, securing P2 in the AM Championship. fantastic drive there. Absolutely fantastic drive there from the boys. Well, guys, on that note, thank you very much. Enjoy. It was great. See you guys again at the next event. Enjoy. Cheers, man.